Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Legally Caffeinated. I'm Frank Esquire. This is
Schwab Esquire.
And on this episode, we are breaking down the opening courtroom scene from The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
One of the worst that I've seen. And I've seen a lot. But without further ado...
But I love the movie, though.
Love the movie. But there's so much there to break down. Where do we start? I mean, I say we start from the beginning, right? In a criminal court, a jury is the most protected group there is, right? These people are treated like gold in a sense, right? They're ferried around the courthouse, but in terms of what they hear and see, they're protected. So the jury is not going to be brought out to the courtroom until everybody is ready. That means every defense attorney is present, every prosecutor is present. You're not going to have the jury sitting in the room with the defendant, the defense attorney, and one prosecutor is just waiting to come in. And the judge is even out there. And the judge is even there. So who told the court crier to bring the jury out?
Why?
The judge is even there, and why?
Like when they come back from the break, or was this the beginning of the court day?
They didn't really say. I mean, they just kind of jumped into that witness. I don't know who called that witness. I'm assuming the prosecution did, but I don't know what he showed that guy. I mean, that paper could have had a stick figure drawing on it for all he knows,
But even before we get to that, right? The way he walks into the courtroom, he's not in a rush. He's not worried about making the judge wait. He literally says, "I'm here." Saunters on in and sits down.
Courtroom's packed too, by the way. Every courtroom's packed.
This is the biggest.
In there.
This is a huge case. You know why it's huge?
What?
It's the mob, and the DA himself is trying the case.
Where did they say that he was too? He never even. I mean, mystery. Where was he? Why was he late for court that day? Where was
the biggest trial in the city?
Yeah.
The crime boss who's ruining Gotham. The DA, the elected DA in the city, saunters in late and makes a joke to co-counsel that she was afraid she had to take over.
Way to biggest case, hundreds of people there watching in the gallery, and he just rolls in late, and then and then the judge comes out, and it's like nothing to it.
But what does the other DA say when he says, "Did you think you're afraid you have to take this case on?"
Oh, doesn't she say, "I know these briefs backwards" or something like that?
They're at trial right now.
Yeah. Harvey, I know these briefs backwards. It's like, wait, what briefs? What are you talking about?
We already argued pre-trial motions. We're at trial now. The briefs are done.
Yeah, what? I don't know what that means.
I don't think she was ready for trial. She definitely wasn't ready to take over. Like, Your Honor, we're ready to call our first witness for the motion to suppress.
Yeah, and I mean, how? It's just confusing there. Yeah, they didn't really say what it was for, other than she knew some briefs backwards. I don't know.
I guess, but he told him. He said, "I don't," because when the mob boss told Harvey, he said, "Don't DAs usually play golf with the mayor?" And he said, "Tee times at 1:30. That's more than enough time to lock you away for life." So they were at trial. This was the trial for his life.
Yeah. Tea time is at 1:30. I don't know if is that how that works? assuming the prosecution rested for the day, they break for lunch. They bring back in, even if the defense isn't putting up any evidence.
They're doing something.
They're doing something. Closing remarks. I mean, closing arguments would have been like 45 minutes each, So it's like...
What world do you finish a trial against a mob boss in enough time on a regular work day to leave at 1:30 if you saw a witness on the stand?
You know what? I think that Harvey, Bruce Wayne, he didn't like Harvey. He wanted him vetted. He wanted him looked into. And I'm starting to agree. Like, there's no accounting for where he was that morning. He's supposedly leaving in the middle of a work day. He's elected official, leaving in the middle of the work day to play golf. Like, what?
And he's not a good attorney. And he didn't know what he was doing.
No, he didn't know what he's doing.
He was totally, you could totally tell he was acting. He's walking around the courtroom. He's saying things that sound good. He's just grabbing pieces of paper saying, you gave a sworn statement, which who knows what he gave. That was Lieutenant Caffey move right there.
Yeah. It would have been helpful if when he pulled up that piece of paper and said, you gave this statement, if he would have actually told people what was in the statement, you know?
Yeah, like what did the statement say?
You know, he could have, he walked up, he would have said, he would have said, Your Honor, may I approach the witness. He didn't say that. He just kind of walks up.
I just walked over to him.
They just walked over to him. There's no courtroom decorum. There's nothing. There's just like, I'm walking where I want, I'm doing whatever I want. But he would have, he would have asked him, is this, you signed the statement? Did you, what did you say? And that's what it was. That's what it would have been.
Do you recognize this exhibit? He would have said yes or no. It doesn't matter. Do you recognize that that signature at the bottom? Yes. Whose signature is that? That's my signature. Okay. Did you give this statement? Do you remember giving a statement to detectives? Yes. Let's go through this statement, right?
Yeah.
And he would have confronted him with his statement, and then once the witness made it seem as if he wasn't going to cooperate, then he could ask the judge, can I treat the witness as a hostile witness? And the judge probably would have said yes anyway. He said yes before.
Yeah.
Then you can get into all those shenanigans. But the way he did it, it's like, what do you got here, Harvey? You just picked up a piece of paper. It's not going to come in. It's not evidence.
Yeah, not to mention he committed assault on the guy after he disarmed him, right? I mean, he disarmed him. He took his gun.
He did, yeah, you're right.
But then he punches him too. Like, I want to know, why wasn't Harvey Dent arrested for assault, right? I mean, he broke the law.
Well, I mean, they couldn't arrest him. He's the only one in the courtroom had a gun in his hand. You saw he took that gun apart? He did that gun apart so easily. Then he sat it down on the defense's, right in front of the defendant.
Yeah.
Boom. Here's the gun.
Yeah.
The whole crowd went wild. The audience started clapping for him.
Yeah. He just literally gave the defendant on trial, the mob boss, a gun in court. He disarms it, but then he gives it. What if Eric Roberts, that's who it was, what if he just picked it up and was like, all right. Like,
exactly. He puts it right back together.
Yeah. But like, really, he punched that guy, and no one was even like, yo, that's not cool. Like, that wasn't, like, you just punched him in the face. I mean, was that like simple assault that he just committed on that guy?
No, that was an aggravated assault. He punched his face out.
Aggravated assault, one punch to the head. Like, what are you doing, bro? And everybody clapped.
Harvey was like a superstar. I know he sauntered in the court when he wanted to. He's just saying anything. He's asking leading questions. He's just presenting a piece of paper saying it's one thing when it really isn't. But it's funny when the witness answered the question, he said, "You got me, counsel." He says, "I was a leader," and he said Maroney was just a fall guy. And everybody started laughing. I don't know what was so funny.
Yeah. He got me, counsel. Yeah, Maroney was just the fall guy. But that doesn't... I mean, like, Maroney's still guilty of something, right? Because he just admitted that he was part of their crew,
Exactly.
Like, he's like,
Maroney was there. Maroney did everything, but I was the one behind it. I called the shots.
Yeah, he didn't get him out of jail. He was still, he was part of the family. Like, what are the worst
was this witness
courtroom scenes ever?
Was he in jail or was he out of custody? You can assume he was out because he got that gun in, but I mean, how did he get the gun in, right? How did he sneak this gun in? He had a suit on.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't even have to reach into his jacket to pull it out. So
he was just sitting in his lap the whole time.
Yeah, and the judge didn't even flinch. The judge wasn't like, he just, the judge didn't even like dismiss the jury. He wasn't like, court's adjourned, like get this guy out. Nobody else rushed this guy but like the security guards.
The security took him out, and then once he was taken out, Harvey just like, Your Honor, I'm not done with this witness. Harvey, what did you want them to do? Take the gun from him and continue the questions? Harvey
Dent was incompetent. And he looks, Your Honor, I was with like a dumbfounded look. Your Honor, I wasn't done questioning my witness.
Exactly.
And he was like, are you, bro? Like, you show up late. You don't know how to handle exhibits.
This is not about you, Harvey. Your Honor, I wasn't finished. I'm still doing my show. Like, Harvey, this guy had a gun in court and pulled the trigger. He tried to kill you. We got bigger issues right now than your direct examination of this witness. We got to figure something out. Somebody messed up.
Yeah. Man, Harvey, he was terrible. He was incompetent way before he became Two-Face. I'm surprised. There needs to be something else that comes to light, where he was in the morning
maybe Harvey planned all of that just so he could make his tea time. Like he said, I'm going to be out of here in time. Yeah. I'm going to be out of here in time for my tea time to go play golf with the mayor. And lo and behold, maybe while Harvey was doing all those theatrics, walking up to the witness, he passed him the gun.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He let him. Yes.
That guy struck a deal with him. It's like, yo, man, I'll get you out. I'll get you out for your tea time. I mean, he called it. He did say he had a tea time, and he made it.
Yeah,
like why was he so sure he was going to make that tea time? And and now we know the answer.
When what was her name? Gyllenhaal's sister.
Yeah.
When she said, at the end, she said, at the end of that scene, she says, if you say that you are rattled, then we can leave early. He tells her, no, I have a meeting with the new head of violent crime or gang crime, or whatever unit it was. He had a meeting with not Commissioner Gordon, but maybe Lieutenant or Commander Gordon, right?
Yeah.
So he made an excuse of why he couldn't go away with her after work. It was probably to make his tea time. Like this whole thing was about him playing golf.
Yeah. How did he have that meeting anyway? He just assumed that court would have been adjourned for the day early,
Exactly. How do you have a meeting planned? How do you have a meeting planned with the commissioner at the same time you're supposed to still be in court?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a foreshadowing that this guy is going to become Two-Face because he's clearly a liar. He's a pathological liar.
I think he was playing golf that morning. The game ran over. He's
at the range.
I'll be back. Yeah. I'll be back. Just believe me. I got to run to court. I'll be right back. Yeah. And he had it figured out. He got in and got out, and now he's playing golf.
I think he was he could have been at the driving range in the morning, and then just like, I got to get out of here. I think, he was incompetent. I mean, he should have if he didn't turn into Two-Face, he should have had his license taken away, suspended, something, He
definitely was a liar.
He definitely was a liar. Some foreshadowing, but another terrible courtroom scene is pretty consistent with the movies. But leave us a comment below if you have any suggestions on what other courtroom scenes and movies you want us to dissect and rip apart. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button.
Slam that gavel and the like button.
Notification. Yes, take the gavel, smash that like button. All right, thanks for watching.